This is NSAA 2021, Section 1, Question 42. So we have 3 calcium ions which are observed in mass spectrometry. We have a calcium ion with mass number 40 and charge 2+, one with mass number 42 and charge 2+, and one with mass 43 and a charge of 1+. And we have some statements and we need to work out which ones are correct. So first of all 3 ions have the electron configuration 288. So do these ions have the 288 configuration? Well, the first thing to note are the charge of our molecules. We have 2 2+ ions and 1 1+. But what does that mean about the electron configuration? Well, how many electrons are in our standard calcium? Our calcium has 20 electrons. So these 2+ ions, if they have a positive 2 charge, must mean they have 2 fewer electrons. Therefore, they have 18 electrons in total. So now we can work out the electron configuration of these ions. See if you can draw out filled shells of our calcium ion with 18 electrons. So this is what it's going to look like. Our inner shell is filled with 2, then we have 8 in our second shell and 8 in our final shell, which is 288. So yes, this is correct. However, in our 1+ ion, that means we only have 1 fewer electron than 20. So we have 19 electrons. So where do we put that extra electron? It can't go in this outer shell because it's already got 8 in it. So it can't be a configuration of 288. We must have another additional number on the end. So this must be incorrect. Our second statement is that the 42 calcium ion has more neutrons than the 40 calcium ion. So what is the difference between these two numbers? Well, it's the difference in its mass number. And what is the mass number comprised of? Well, it's taking into the masses of protons and neutrons. And which of these can vary between isotopes? Well, the proton number cannot change. It must always stay the same. That's what gives the isotope its characteristic of the element. However, the neutrons can change. So in this case, they must be different. They must change. So our 42 calcium isotope must have more neutrons than our 40 calcium one. So yes, this statement is correct. Our final statement is that the 42 calcium 2+ isotope has more protons than the 43 calcium singular plus. So what's the difference between these two molecules? Well, we know the mass number is different, but that's due to the number of neutrons, not the number of protons. So it's the charges that are different. This one has a +2 charge, and this one just has a singular plus charge. So what is this down to? Is this down to protons? Well, as we've already discussed, proton number cannot change. That's what gives an element its characteristics. So it must be due to the number of electrons in the shells, not the number of protons, because the number of protons cannot change. So this statement is incorrect. Overall, only number 2 is correct. Therefore, our final answer is C.